How to build trust.
Trust is one of the most valuable foundations of every healthy relationship, whether it is between family members, friends, coworkers, or romantic partners. Trust creates safety, respect, and lasting connections. Without trust, even the strongest relationships can become weak and unstable. The good news is that trust can be built through consistent actions and honest communication. Building trust begins with being honest. Honesty means telling the truth, even when it is difficult. People are more likely to trust someone who is open and sincere than someone who hides the truth or makes excuses. Being honest also means admitting your mistakes instead of blaming others. Keeping your promises is another important step. When you say you will do something, do your best to follow through. Even small promises matter. If people know they can rely on your words, their trust in you will grow over time. Trust is built through consistency, not through one big action. Good communication is also essential. Listen carefully when others speak, respect their opinions, and express your own thoughts clearly and kindly. Misunderstandings often happen because people do not communicate openly. Honest conversations help solve problems before they become bigger. Respect is another key ingredient of trust. Treat people with kindness, value their feelings, and respect their boundaries. Even when you disagree, you can still speak respectfully. People trust those who make them feel heard and appreciated. Trust also grows through responsibility. Take responsibility for your actions and be willing to apologize when you make a mistake. Everyone makes errors, but trustworthy people admit them. Learn from them and work to improve. A sincere apology can often rebuild damaged trust. Patience is equally important because trust is not built overnight. It develops slowly through repeated positive experiences. Every honest conversation, every promise kept, and every act of kindness strengthens the relationship. At the same time, one dishonest action can damage trust, so it should always be protected carefully. Supporting others during difficult times also strengthens trust. When people know you will stand beside them in both good and bad moments, they feel secure in the relationship. Trust grows when people know they are not alone. Finally, remember that trust begins with your own character. Be honest, dependable, respectful, patient, and kind. Focus on becoming someone others can rely on instead of trying to force people to trust you. Over time, your actions will speak louder than your words. In conclusion, trust is one of the greatest gifts we can give and receive. It is built through honesty, responsibility, respect, communication, consistency, and patience. Strong relationships are not built in a single day. They are built through small, meaningful actions repeated every day. When trust becomes the foundation of a relationship, it creates stronger friendships, healthier families, successful teamwork, and lasting love. Building trust is not something we do once. It is something we practice every day. Trust grows through our words, our actions, and the way we treat other people. Just as a tree grows slowly from a small seed, trust develops over time through patience, consistency, and genuine care. Strong relationships are built on trust, and without it, even the closest friendships or partnerships can become fragile. One of the best ways to strengthen trust is by being consistent. People feel comfortable when they know what to expect from you. If you are honest one day but dishonest the next, others will become confused and uncertain. However, when your actions consistently match your words, people begin to see you as dependable. Consistency builds confidence, and confidence strengthens trust. Another important habit is learning to listen. Many people listen only to respond, but trustworthy people listen to understand. When someone shares their thoughts or feelings, give them your full attention. Avoid interrupting, judging, or thinking about your own reply while they are speaking. Active listening shows respect and makes others feel valued. When people feel heard, they are more likely to trust you. Respecting confidentiality is also essential. Sometimes friends, family members, or colleagues share personal information because they trust you. If you reveal their secrets without permission, that trust can be broken. A trustworthy person knows when to remain silent and protects the privacy of others. Keeping confidential information private is a sign of maturity and integrity. Forgiveness is another important part of building trust. No one is perfect and everyone makes mistakes. Holding on to anger or resentment can damage relationships. While forgiveness does not mean ignoring harmful behavior, It means choosing to let go of bitterness and giving people opportunity to improve when appropriate. Healthy relationships often grow stronger when both people are willing to forgive and learn from mistakes. Trust also depends on reliability. Being reliable means showing up when you say you will, completing your responsibilities, and supporting others when they need you, whether it is arriving on time for a meeting or helping a friend. During a difficult moment, reliability demonstrates that you can be counted on. Small acts of reliability repeated over time create strong and lasting trust. Another key factor is empathy. Empathy means trying to understand another person's feelings and perspective. Instead of judging someone quickly, take time to understand what they are experiencing. People trust those who show kindness, compassion, and genuine concern. Empathy helps create deeper emotional connections and stronger relationships. Building trust also requires humility. Trustworthy people are willing to admit when they are wrong. They do not pretend to know everything or refuse to accept responsibility. Saying, "I made a mistake," or "I'm sorry," takes courage, but it often strengthens trust because it shows honesty and accountability. Patience is especially important when rebuilding trust after it has been broken. Trust cannot usually be restored with words alone. It takes consistent actions over time. If someone has lost trust because of a mistake, rebuilding that trust requires sincerity, responsibility, and a willingness to change. Although the process may be slow, genuine effort can repair many relationships. Finally, remember that trust begins with your own character. Be the kind of person who is honest, respectful, dependable, and kind even when no one is watching. Your reputation is built by the choices you make every day. People may forget what you said, but they will remember how you treated them. In conclusion, trust is one of the most valuable qualities in every relationship. It grows through honesty, consistency, empathy, reliability, respect, and patience. Strong trust creates stronger friendships, healthier families, successful teams, and lasting relationships. By choosing integrity in your daily actions, you can become someone others truly believe in and rely upon. Trust is easy to lose but difficult to rebuild. A single lie, a broken promise, or an act of betrayal can damage a relationship that took years to build. However, broken trust does not always mean a relationship is over if both people are willing to be honest, patient, and committed to change. Trust can often be rebuilt over time. The first step in rebuilding trust is accepting responsibility. When you make a mistake, avoid blaming other people or making excuses. A trustworthy person says, "I was wrong," and sincerely apologizes. Taking responsibility shows maturity and demonstrates that you understand the impact of your actions. A sincere apology is more than simply saying, "I'm sorry." It includes acknowledging what happened, expressing genuine regret, and making a commitment to avoid repeating the same mistake. People are more likely to forgive when they see real change rather than empty promises. Actions are always stronger than words. Anyone can promise to change, but trust returns only when those promises are supported by consistent actions. If you promise to be honest every day. If you promise to be reliable, keep your commitments. Over time, repeated positive actions slowly rebuild confidence. Patience is essential because trust rarely returns overnight. The person who is hurt may need time to heal. Pressuring someone to trust you again immediately often makes the situation worse. Instead, respect their feelings and continue demonstrating your honesty through your behavior. Open communication also plays a major role. Honest conversations help both people understand each other's feelings and expectations. Instead of arguing or becoming defensive, listen carefully and speak with respect. Good communication reduces misunderstandings and helps rebuild emotional connection. Forgiveness is another important part of healing. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting what happened or pretending the pain never existed. It means choosing not to let past mistakes control the future. Both people can learn from the experience and work toward building a healthier relationship. Trust should also include healthy boundaries. Respecting another person's privacy, opinions, and personal space creates safety within a relationship. Strong relationships are built on mutual respect, not control. Building lasting trust requires consistency over months and years. Small daily actions matter. Being truthful, arriving on time, keeping promises, showing kindness, and supporting others during difficult moments. These simple habits gradually create deep and lasting trust. It is also important to trust yourself. Self-trust means believing in your values, making wise decisions, and learning from your experiences. When you trust yourself, you become more confident, make better choices, and build healthier relationships with others. Remember that trust exists in every area of life. Families need trust to stay united. Friendships depend on trust to remain strong. Successful businesses are built on trust between employers, employees, and customers. Even communities become stronger when people treat one another with honesty and respect. True trust is never based on perfection because no one is perfect. Instead, it is built on honesty, responsibility, forgiveness, respect, and consistent effort. Relationships become stronger when people are willing to admit mistakes, learn from them, and continue growing together. In conclusion, trust is one of the greatest treasures in life. It takes time to build, can be damaged quickly, and requires patience to restore. By living with integrity, communicating openly, respecting others, and keeping your promises, you can build relationships that are strong, healthy, and lasting. Always remember this: trust is earned through actions, strengthened by honesty, protected by respect, and maintained through consistency. When trust becomes the foundation of a relationship, it creates loyalty, peace, and a connection that can last a lifetime.